Ben and Amanda's shop is done, except for the trim in the bathroom. That is the toilet, the lavatory, the trim on the shower, and the hot water heater. And it gives us one more chance to have Phil Rokas on the job.
It's all coming back to me now. How many years ago did we? That was just last year.
Yeah, it was just last year.
That rock I put along the base. So
How's
I wanted to see if it separated
How's it
over
look?
time. I don't know. I can't get down there.
It looks like that close. Oh, it's pretty good. Little shadow line there.
We might throw a siliconized acrylic caulk across that now.
Yeah, pretty good.
Keep any cracks. Oh, good.
Ben put the floor in here. He did a very respectable job.
Oh, look at this flange is flush with the floor. That's bizarre.
How'd that happen?
The experts may have showed up. Where to cut this off at? Yeah, it looks like about right there. I'll give it a little mark. I'm gonna clean some more of this stuff off. My trusty knife. A good customer of mine gave me this for Christmas.
Does that say leaky?
That's what they call me.
Well, that is your knife.
They call me Leaky. Okay, so the center line of this stupid thing, this cutter is where how I'm kind of eyeballing it, like that, and then there you go.
So you don't have to tighten that, just the spring tension on the
It's
cutter.
like, oh boy, there's some pressure. Yeah, there's an eccentric involved.
Okay. Do I need to go out and
No, it's
double
just,
check anything?
that's why I brought that little tiny bucket. There it is.
Where's your flat-sided bucket, Phil?
Well, it's got tools in
Yeah,
it.
it's too big anyway.
Look at all this water.
Are we going to get an early shower here?
Well, watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get the little burr out so don't end up going in your angle stop.
So what's the ideal distance from the floor and from the center line of the toilet for that little protrusion?
It kind of depends on the cove molding that's planned. 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 by 6, kind of an idea. Sometimes like in commercial outfits, there's 8 inches of molding coming up.
Oh, yeah.
And you end up getting the flange right in the center line of it. I got these tools from my nephew, especially for this, for Christmas a few years ago.
Are those adjustables?
Well, it screws on to this nut, a rod that holds this steel, and then the other, it's just some sort of wrenches, more stuff to carry around, and just for running around doing these all day long. We're going to trim this sink out a little bit. In the world of the ADADT people, make sure that thing's halfway in the middle. It's in a sloppy-ish hole, kind of. If there's any lettering or writing on it, make it go forward, like it's not in a weird place. I've had ladies tell me that cross wasn't square in the middle. It made me come back and fix it.
And you did that with a smile, right?
I'll be there in a minute. This stupid thing just snapped. I think we're going to need to read the directions. It's doing it. We're going to use a green wax ring this time, and they come with bolts, but they're made of steel and they're CAD plated. Don't ever use a steel bolt. So I got some brass ones, And one of my pet peeves is the little bit of cement on the edge of these needs to get chipped out. And the tile guys will tile right up to it. Then I start chipping the tile and it blows that much tile out and I gotta buy a new floor. I hate that. So the good thing about these steel screws is you can use them as a tool to tap these in. There you go.
You just use the edge of the steel?
Well, it's not, you need to take a chisel and chisel a little cement out here to do it right.
That's concrete.
If you compromise the concrete.
Thank you.
Sorry. If you compromise this little lip, it's the only one you got.
Okay.
Okay. So be careful.
Okay.
So I was talking about the green wax I use. It's really not made of wax. But the flange here is 3-inch. If you had a 4-inch flange, the hole would start right here, you know, a bigger hole. And if you put a regular wax on here with a little horn on it, sometimes setting the toilet on it, it'll bump it around. And I've seen them where the wax has fallen into the hole and you know, they're prone to leaking a little bit. These locate right on the bolts. They can't go anywhere. They've got memory to them, so you could actually bolt the toilet down, take it off, and put it back on, you know, without having to buy another one. I don't know what the brand is or anything, but other brands I don't really like. But I do like these, the rubber ones. And there you have it.
Pretty nice, Phil.
Plus they're green.
How did we do on the elevation of the flange on the concrete?
The flange is absolutely dead flush, a singular plane to the earth.
Weird.
And the concrete goes perfectly flush to it. Look at that.
How do those guys do that, Phil?
I don't know, they had experience.
Yeah.
This looks like I put it on wrong, but I didn't. I did that on purpose because the height from here to a toilet can never be exactly right for one going straight up, right? And then if you have one that's too long, you get this pigtail curly cue. Anyway, this sort of hides it behind the toilet and hooks up clean. You know, that's why I did that. And you can use a nice long
bend.
Keep the same size, you know, supply line on your rig.
So what is that?
It's everything.
16 or 18 inches or something?
I don't know, it's that long.
Yeah, it's that long. That's perfect.
Probably metric.
Yeah. Not around here.
Okay, that's done. Sometimes a little pre-thought helps. We try to keep all the plumbing way up high because they like to put stuff under here. So we're snugged up pretty good. Can't get much higher than that. But you have to know the dimensions of the sink depth to put that at the right height. And if you ever changed the sink and had a deeper sink, you'd have to cut the wall to fix it to make it drain. So a shallower sink would normally be in a bathroom anyway, but we set this up so that there's nothing in the way so you can put junk under here. Lots of junk.
Hardly leaks at all. Pretty close to the wall.
Well, thank you. Somebody must have measured that.
Look at that. Look at it.
Get it square, would you?
Well, that's it. The plumbing's in. Well, we got to actually install the hot water heater and the doors on that shower, but as much trouble as we had putting that shower stall itself in, Phil and I talked it over and we decided that would probably be a real good experience for the computer scientist. So I don't know if we'll put a camera on that or not, but one way or the other, I think Ben's going to have a vertical learning curve for a day or two when he wrestles with those things. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman. Keep up the good work.